Hello, my friend, how are you today? I am Protulia Xeta-Llouns, and this is Mexican Allies on the first day of the Trezene movement. Today is Ollin, one movement, the first day of a Trezene that has a lot of, movement, of course, but also this awareness that we need an opposite in order to move. After the Trezene lizard, this tiny little fellow that it's all the time or most of the time standing still and all of a sudden starts moving rapidly, we come to a Trezene where this rhythm between standing still and moving, it's a little bit more even. Because with the lizard we never know. She can be standing still for an hour and then move rapidly for just 15 seconds and then she stays still again. So she has some sort of movement rhythm, but it's not stable. It's not constant. And now the movement, it's a constant. It has a rhythm, and this is what allows things to advance, because movement and the Trezene movement is about two things. The first thing is the alliance of opposites, because in order to move we need an opposite. If you watch the symbol of this sign, the sign movement, if you search for the symbol, you have two parts that are coming together, like some sort of like two arrows that connect one with the other, and one is green and the other is red, but both have yellow lines, and this means this common color represents a common interest or a common goal or a common characteristic. Okay, they are opposites, but they have something in their core that makes them equals. What is it? This is the thing that allows them to move together. Because, okay, they are opposites because we need our opposite, but they are not fighting each other. They are helping each other because they are so acquainted with their own nature. They know themselves so well that they know what they are made of, and they are not competing with the other. One knows exactly what he's made for and brings in this characteristic into this relationship, offers his characteristic for the other to use it in the benefit of both. And the other one is the same. He knows exactly what he is and brings his gifts so that they both profit on them. If they wouldn't know who they are, if they hadn't worked so hard in themselves and know exactly what their pros and cons are, this relationship wouldn't work, because one of them will be fighting to do what the other one does, instead of relying on the other, or feeling envy, or feeling anxious about not being good enough. And this is where the relationship fails. But if they both know in what are they strong, they will fly together, so to speak. And none of them will be in the path of the other, and they will both go in the same path. So, opposites that move together, like the pedals of a bike. When one is pushing, the other one is resting, and when the other one is resting, the first one is pushing, and so on. And the other thing that the Trezene Ollin helps us realize is about the rhythm of the heart. Movement Ollin is sponsored this day, and the day Ollin is sponsored by Holotl, the ugly dog from the underworld. And Holotl was the god that was sponsoring also the game, the ball game, the ancient ritual ball game, in which our ancestors made matches to represent the movement of the universe. They said that while the ball was moving, the universe will be moving too. And if the ball stops, the universe will come to an end. The ball is our hearts. If our heart stops, well, you know what happens. And sometimes you can have a heart beating, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's alive. So, what makes your heart beat? Because perhaps you have so much, you've been given so much, that you no longer appreciate anything. And the only thing that makes your heart beat perhaps is a full jar of pulque. And this is why you search for some, I don't know, brief accelerators that are not real. Instead of having one big accelerator that keeps your heart beating and that gives you the necessary inspiration and drive to go on and to get where you want to your final goal. And so, what is a match of a ball game? Well, like in any match, you have two teams, opposites, that help each other to do what? To keep the game going, because this is a game and we are all playing it. And you may be on the seats or on the bench cheering, or you can be selling stuff, or you can be in the entrance cashing the tickets. wherever you are part of the game. It doesn't matter if you're making all the scores. The important thing is that we are all in it, and that you take a side, because you cannot play for both teams. And as long as your heart knows in which team you are, that is perfect. And when you know finally which team you are, well, play with all your heart and play with your team. Don't be selfish, and know that whether you win or lose, it doesn't matter. What is important is to keep your heart beating, and to keep cheering, and to keep enjoying, because all of them, either from your team or from the opposite team, are the ones that you care about, because if there was no other team, you couldn't play. Thank you for playing in a team and enjoying it every day. See you next time.